Welcome, intrepid viewers, hanging in there in the aftermath of the release of Mueller's report. So we have to delve into this. We have to delve. So, obviously, he felt, as a professional of the highest level, the case wasn't strong enough for conspiracy with the Russians. But let's take heart here, viewers. There's a few things that are immensely important. One is the report does not exonerate Trump from obstruction. We do not know what obstruction charges are going to be brought. But for me, the most reassuring thing in the world, I mean seriously, in the world, a sentence that got lost with the William Barr 4-page summary. And that is, Mueller has handed over dozens, that's dozens with an S on the end, dozens of sealed indictments. What does that mean? It has to be Trump and family. It was decided not to go there while he was in office because it would just set everybody off. Dozens of sealed indictments. And the third thing, and remember I warned you, a year ago probably, it's so grueling going through at legal pace. But he handed off, as we know, many, many, many cases for corrupt behaviour and money laundering and so forth to the various state agencies. The sealed indictments have gone to Washington. I don't know where sealed indictments live, but they've gone there. And that also means that it stops the clock. So whenever Trump leaves office, that's when they get released. And so we're going to take it with all that in mind. I'll admit, viewers, I was gutted, as we say in Australia, that it wasn't shock and awe, but at the same time, the GOP, this particular configuration of GOP lawmakers is completely untrustworthy and unreliable and do not have the best interests of the country at heart. So it could have actually been more dangerous and more divisive had it been more conventionally explosive. But trust the system. He has not let us down. He has handed off mega cases. Okay, so that's the light in which I'm reading now with Mueller. I'm going to do a full Celtic cross on this. Just hold your horses. Good to be back. Got Che Guevara in the background. My cloth is my Bob Marley cloth. So you can see I came of age in the 70s. Yes, there are some giveaway signs there. Okay. Let's have a look. I haven't had a chance either to see what other readers are saying, but I'm sure you guys have all, had a good look. So please, in the comments, give me a rundown once you see this. Okay, Mueller. I bet he's kicking back with a beer. Okay. King of Swords right in the middle. How amazing is that? Very interesting. Very interesting. Mueller. This has been my Mueller card forever. King of Swords. The man himself in the centre. So that tells me the cards have tuned in. I'm very happy to see that in the centre. In his recent past, he has been out in the cold because he's been locked behind closed doors. He's been under 22 months of relentless abuse. He has not been able to rely on an even-handed set of lawmakers. He's had to make adjustments, I am sure, in the course of this investigation. So there he is. That's what was there. Underneath him, justice. That's all he's interested in. And at whatever point he decided, despite the obvious things that we as lay people say, but isn't that enough? Isn't saying, Russia, if you're listening, all that crap, he is going to make sure that justice prevails. That is his primary goal, but he is a judicial figure in that sense. He will not shortcut anything, and he certainly wouldn't put forward a case that had any holes in it or a risk of not getting up. So that's so important. On top of this reading is the hidden agendas. So he has been exploring the hidden agendas. He may even have one himself, in the sense that he might have had to make that decision. I'm just going to talk about that for a moment. The climate is unique in American history. At various times, we all know the GOP are conservative and it's a partisan system. We need to talk about that sometime. This adversarial system in Australia, the UK, and the US is not working for people anymore. Might have worked in 1954, not working now. But not only is it an adversarial system, it's a system that is peopled now with lawmakers who have no concept of civil service or public service. It would have been a massive risk. So that could have been his agenda too, but I think it's also about him looking at the agendas. This is the Magician card right next to Mueller himself. Do not fret, do not fear, do not lose heart. He is the Magician. He has something really interesting to unveil. Notice, for those learning tarot, the diagonal arms of the Magician in the Rider-Waite. That's because one arm's holding the scroll of knowledge to the heavens and the other pointing to the earth. The Magician has all the tools. All the suits are represented in the Magician card. Okay, so what's further back for Mueller? The Nine of Cups. That's interesting. He wanted this gig more than perhaps I thought. This is the hopes and wishes and wanting it. He's not a person who blows his own trumpet. So he's not saying, I'm the only guy in America who could possibly have done this. We're talking in his past here. But he was very pleased to be asked to serve his country in this way. Okay. All right. Now, how does Mueller see himself? This is the card of compromise. I think this is about this hidden agenda stuff. He had to make a compromise at some point. That compromise would, it appear, be can't nail him on the conspiracy, going to have to go for the money, the pentacles, the money. Okay? Compromise. That was a compromise he had to reach. What was his challenge or obstacle in relation to that? The Ace of Wands. That, I think, was... it's the crude side of Trump. Is there any other side? But I call this my Fred Flintstone card. Yes, it's a very phallic card, and he does think with his willy, and that's about all he thinks with. But the aces are new energy, Ace of Wands, Hand of God. I think what was worrying him was Trump seems to have got a new wind on some level. He knew by making this compromise, it would make Trump feel that he was the winner. Because Trump, like us, do not know what is in the remainder of the report and where each section of it is destined to go. But I repeat, viewers, don't forget he's already handed off all the material for whole cases to other divisions here. So I think it was his fear of, not fear, personal fear of Trump, but the fear that, bugger, I've got to hand this report in. I've got to cut that slack for that thing, let them get away with that superficially to go after the money. Not happy about that, but he made that decision. So the atmosphere and environment around this issue this is us. Here we are. We're disappointed. We did want fireworks, explosions, and smoking guns and all of that. You know what? We're disappointed. But I have to stress, we have to be grown-ups here. We're in it for the long game. And it's really, really important that we support each other with patience and caring. It's so important. Okay, a little bit further out, what have we got? Oh, at least the disappointment's moving on. Oh, the greedy king. Oh. I like these. Okay, so Trump's having his moment in the sun. No collusion stuff. But what's coming out then is the fear and worry is going to come screaming back. There's going to be, here's the Eight of Wands, rapid change from this position of where he feels he's victorious. Rapid. Here he is, just in case we'd forgotten what he looks like, the greedy, mindless, selfish king. That's him, your president, followed by the Tower. So Mueller, these I think are the two most important cards in this reading. Mueller had to make a significant compromise he didn't want to make, but he made it. Part of that was going with how this was released, and don't tell me Mueller and Barr didn't talk about what they'd release. In other words, I don't think for 1 minute they didn't have conversations about what the country could handle and decisions they made as the two most important men in the last few weeks in the country. So this is about the hidden agendas going forward, and this is that compromise. So Trump Tower. Now on your Wednesday, our Thursday, Felix Sater will be testifying. He's been done for massive money laundering. Where did Felix live? Well, that would be in Trump Tower. Where did Felix wheel and deal his New York real estate to launder much Russian money? Trump Tower. Okay, so please do not worry, viewers. Because I've had the extra few days, because I've been preoccupied, I've had those extra few days to digest it all, right? And I'm much calmer, let me tell you, than I was 3 days ago. So I've really thought about this. I've talked with a lawyer friend of mine. We've thrashed it out. We've looked at it from every angle. And that's what I truly believe. This is part of this much longer game. America will never be the same again after Trump, because it is time for intergenerational change. And that isn't easy and it isn't quick. But retrospectively, you look back and go, oh my God, what happened? Boom. It will come to pass. Okay? Well, that's it for now. And I'll speak to you really soon. Please keep the comments coming. Bye now.